Welcome back to another episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Welcome back to episode 213 of the Purple Rain Podcast, the John Brown episode, the Devin Duvernay episode, the Chris Givens episode, and the Chris Matthews episode. Boy, Chris Givens brings back bad memories. 2015, the I-word year, the original I-word year. I remember that year. Claimed him off the Rams. Jesus, that was a nightmare. But welcome back to this episode, the Los Angeles Rams preview episode. Hope you are doing great on this Thursday Eve. First and foremost, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Yes, follow this guy on Instagram, on Twitter at Sutton Def. Follow me on Instagram at simplyas10.prod and on Twitter at simplyas10. And like you saw my guy Sutton hold up in the intro, our sponsor, Manscaped. Deck the balls. It's that time of the season. They save balls. If you do want to go on Manscaped, it's funny, actually. I was at a Marshall's today, and they had the Weed Whacker there. And I was with my lovely mother, and I'm like, Mom, why would you buy it from here when you can just get the whole thing and go online and using code PRP to get 20% off and the free shipping? You know, think about it. You can get more than just a Weed Whacker. So that was my little promotional of the day. But you go on there, you use code PRP, all right? 20% off and free international shipping. Goodness me. I mean, it's just a deal and a half, I think. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know somebody's balls need saving, right? So make sure you hit up manscaped.com, use the code PRP, like my guy Alex said, 20% off, free international shipping. But like he also said, thank you guys again for coming out to this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 213. Okay, this is a preview episode for the Rams game that's coming up at M&T Bank Stadium at 1 p.m. on CBS. Going to be a good one. Ravens are fresh off of a bye, so I have some slightly higher expectations, and I'll get into that a little bit more in depth as we break down our keys to victory, our score predictions, things like that. But before we get into any of that stuff, we got to bring up who's here in the live chat. Tanja Bowman, what's going on? Says, what's up, Purple Rain? What's going on, Tanja? Quoney says, deck the balls. That's right, man. I mean, we love the slogan. We love the slogan. Lisa Ann in the house says, it's Friday Eve. Alex, it is. It's Friday Eve.
I could use this
as our guy. Exactly. As our guy Mod K-Dog says as well. Says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family on this Friday Eve, a.k.a. Thursday? Absolutely. Also giving a shout out to the Manscaped and then also the replay gang. So if you're not watching this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast live and you happen to be part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for coming out to this episode of the show. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Let's go ahead and just take a nice little 5 seconds of silence, right? To go ahead and give everybody a chance, an opportunity to like the video starting now. Okay, so hopefully by now you've liked the video, hit that little thumbs up down below. If you haven't, maybe consider it. If you want to, not give away your hard-earned likes so quick, we get that too. Maybe just stick around, listen to some of the takes. Okay, let's get into what we came here for as well. The Purple Rain preview. It's been a couple weeks, holidays here, some primetime games there, some bye weeks here. We've been haven't been doing the previews that much, but we are back this week, and it's time to start the preview slides with the I-word report, aka the health report. I'm gonna let my guy Alex go ahead and take that away.
Yes, so today I just kind of get out the way. The big news was that Lamar Jackson didn't practice. Everybody else on the team practice. And I kind of wasn't nervous because I figured this is what it was. It is an illness. And so basically, Bateman had it yesterday. He didn't practice. Lamar has it today. It's that time of the season. Lamar probably had maybe a bad meal. I'm not too sure. Maybe he got it from Bate. I don't know, but he'll be fine. But when you look at the Ravens I-word report from today, everybody practiced but Lamar. So none of those I-word designations mean anything to me. That means we'll get Marlon Humphrey back, which is big against Puka and Nakua, and Cooper Kupp, Matapike, clear concussion protocol. and having our full receivers out there. But when you look at the Rams as well, they had a couple of guys not practicing. Big is Tyler Higbee, their tight end, and then you have two their linebackers, Byron Young and Michael. Not even going to pronounce that. But Puka Nacua, he was limited. He's going to play. He's not going to be 100%. If he does get the ball, hit him in that shoulder. See how it really feels. But Ravens are relatively healthy, and then the Rams, have a couple of guys banged up, but they should be good for Sunday. So gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a rainy game on Sunday as well. I've seen tickets for like section 140 or like $83. So if you want to go to a cheap game, and if you want to deal with some rain, this is the game to go to. But yeah, it's gonna be a rainy one on Sunday in Baltimore at M&T Bank.
And that's very, very interesting because I think that changes everything. Because not only is it going to be rainy, it's also going to be cold as well. The mixture between cold and rain, not very comfortable, especially for a West Coast team like the LA Rams. So I don't know how that might affect this one. Not saying it will, but just something to look out for, right? But thank you for that, Alex, giving us the rundown of the I-word report. Yeah, the Ravens are relatively very healthy right now. You got something?
64 degrees and rainy. Not that bad.
Not that cold, yeah.
But the wind is going to be 14 miles per hour.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about we just score touchdowns? Don't worry about field goals.
Right. And we're going to have to worry about, let's just go ahead and get into our breakdown of this game because I got some stuff to say. Now that you said that, that kind of changed my perspective on this game and what I think at least the Ravens need to do in order to pull out a W. But with that being said, without any further ado, let's get into the breakdown between these two teams here, the Ravens versus the Rams. So on the left side, you see these stats for the Ravens. On the right, you see ones for the Rams. So going through the Ravens, passing for 221 yards a game, which is ranked 20th in the NFL. Rushing for 159 yards a game, which is ranked first in the NFL. And let's just stop there because this is a trend that we have seen. It's not even a trend anymore. It's damn near the standard for the Ravens to be a high-powered rushing offense and an average passing attack. Is that fair to say, Alex?
No matter who the coordinator is.
Yeah.
That's how we are. That's who we are.
Right. It's just our identity, right? People say that, the Ravens need to find that's our identity. Flying high on the ground. Passing yards allowed per game, 172, allowing also 102 rushing yards per game, giving up 15.6 points per game, which is actually first in the NFL, and then scoring 27 points a game, which is 7th in the NFL. Yeah. So not too bad there. I mean, defense is on point. Run game is on point. People say that that's the recipe to a championship. I mean, we've been doing that for a couple of years, and we haven't gotten a championship. So the passing numbers need to come up is basically what I'm trying to get at with all this, sarcasm, talk, and shade that I'm low-key throwing right now at my Ravens. Passing game needs to step it up. But looking over at the Rams side of things, they are passing for 245 yards a game, which is ranked 16th. They're rushing for 115 a game, which is ranked 15th. Passing yards allowed per game, 220. Rushing yards allowed, 111. They're scoring 22.3 points a game, which is ranked 13th in the league, and they're allowing 21 a game, which is ranked 14th. So this Rams team, I would say a little bit above average. Is that kind of fair to say in terms of like where they are right now?
Yes, I would put that there. I mean, they're 500, but I think they're not a bad 500. They're not, with all due respect, like a Steelers record. Like, I think they're a better 500. They're I don't know how to say, but yes, they're a good team, I think.
Yeah, not a bad team. I know that Stafford, he had 3 touchdowns last week. They put up 36 points on the Browns, which is supposed to be a really, really good defense. Of course, they're down a couple quarterbacks, but still supposed to be a really good defense. And, the Rams kind of had their way. So it's going to be an interesting one coming into this Sunday. I think that our defense is going to step up, especially coming off of this bye. Guys getting healthy. Marlon Humphrey, like you said, says he's ready to go. That means a lot. That really does mean a lot. And, already considering, I guess I can kind of shift gears to this. The secondary is probably the most surprising unit this year of, any unit on the Baltimore Ravens team. And I think that, maybe a little bit arguable. You might say, well, the running backs, you got Gus Edwards, scoring all these touchdowns, Keaton Mitchell popping off now. Justice Hill kind of shines bright in certain spots, but nobody really expected for this secondary, especially at this point in the season. Think about it, Alex. Normally, around this time of year, the secondary is decimated, is shot. I'm just saying. I didn't say the I word. I didn't say the
Okay,
I
okay,
word,
okay,
right?
okay,
I'll
okay,
knock on wood too if it makes us feel any better. But
okay.
normally around this time of year, we're hurting at that position. And for us to not only be not hurting, but also excelling and thriving, Brandon Stevens, man, cannot give him enough credit. You know, we got rid of Marcus Peters. We were kind of wondering, okay, who's going to step up into that solid quarterback 2 role? And he has done that uh, flawlessly, damn near. And, you know, can't ask for much more out of him. So secondary, I would say, is the most surprising unit on this Ravens team. And they're definitely going to need to step up this Sunday.
Yeah, either that from that or the edge rushers for me. I wasn't expecting us to be leading in sacks, but at the same time, that is a credit to Mike McDonald because Roquan, PQ get their sacks, how Arthur Malek gets his sacks. But obviously, Clowney, Van Noy really helping that out. But talking about the secondary, by this time, we would have seen Kevon Seymour get burnt. We would have probably signed some guy off the corner that probably played in the XFL or the AAF or the USFL last year. But no, I mean, we have Rockison being a healthy scratch, who was supposed to be our best defensive back after Marlon Humphrey this year. He's probably been the worst, honestly. But yeah, that is something I can agree with. It feels good that we have these guys playing to such a high standard. Do miss Darius Washington, though. Really wish he was healthy because we'd be that much better in the secondary. But speaking of that as well, I mean, Geno Stone. You got Kyle Hamilton, who's been playing slot as well. Now, Marcus Williams. I mean, it just feels good having a healthy team. That's one thing you need to make it far, is to be healthy at the right time. And that's what we haven't been in the playoffs and in the later years, or the later games in past years. Think about last year, obviously, our quarterback, year before, our quarterback, but even in 2020, hurting, 2019, hurting. People don't talk about Andrews and Ingram. Were hurt that game. And then in 2020 as well, our makeshift ass line. That was awful. Like, we already had different guards in for different drives. So if this team can just stay healthy, I really think the sky's the limit. Your mic's muted.
Sorry, I don't know why. I think my mic keeps coming disconnected. I don't know if there's like dust in it or something. Might have to blow it out. It's been 2 years we've been doing this show with this mic, so maybe it's that. Maybe I got to clean it off a little bit, knock off the dust. Anyway, but yeah, that is the one thing that feels different this year as compared to recent years, especially in the Lamar Jackson era. At this point in the year, we are still relatively healthy, you know, compared to a lot of other teams who are going through it right now. Absolutely going through it. I mean, we've seen it all across the league. So it does feel like a blessing, you know, this time around that we're able to kind of enjoy the season, especially this late into the regular season. I mean, it's already week 14, man. It's already week 14. You got to think, like, it feels like just 2 weeks ago we were doing, you know, preseason streams and talking about, is this guy going to pop off, or does this guy need more playing? Yeah, man, time is flying. We got to enjoy it while we can. I do want to go ahead and transition into this next slide here, which I think is going to be the most important slide of the episode. This is the unit strength from ESPN and PFF, grading the trench work from both teams. So you see pass protection, pass rush, run defense, and run block, all on a chart up here. And as you can see, the more further up into the right a team is, the better they are at that specific thing. Now, I have these circled here. As you can see, pass protection, the Rams are a little bit below average. The Ravens a little bit above average. Pass rush, Ravens a little bit above average. Rams a little bit below average. Run defense, Rams a little bit above average. Ravens kind of in that same boat. And then run blocking, they're around the same, a little bit above average for both teams there. So what you said before we even started this segment was very, very interesting to me about the weather and how it might be able to impact this game. We all know that all games are won or lost in the trenches, but I think especially that applies in bad weather games, you know, because it's just everything. Everything starts and ends with the offensive line, with the defensive line. If you don't have that locked up, then you're going to lose the game. Okay. So basically, looking at this chart, Alex, and I guess this kind of leads into our keys to victory. We've looked at the stats. We're looking at the trench work measures right here. What are the solid keys to victory that the Ravens need in order to win on Sunday? And everybody else, I want you to answer down below in the chat room. If you're watching live, answer there. If you're not, you're part of the hashtag replay gang, make sure you put it down below. But I'm going to start with Alex. What do you think, bro?
Fortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, it's going to be running the ball. It's just so like that's so cookie cutter. It's so basic in me. It's nothing that you're gonna say, wow, like why would you say that, or wow, that's surprising. It's running the ball,
Yeah.
especially when it's raining. It's Keaton Mitchell, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. I don't know who. I need somebody to just eat. I don't want to see any fumbles. Kenyon Drake, since somebody loves talking that trash on Twitter. Fourth team already this season. No matter what you want to say, I think that fumble lost us a game against the Colts. We had so much momentum. Thought it was going to be a touchdown drive. Hold on to the ball. We've had guys have fumbling issues. We've had snaps, not snaps from Linderbaum, but miscommunication on read options. We talked about 2 weeks ago, the Zay Flowers touchdown. That was close to being a fumble, with the whole Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. Just protect that damn ball and run the ball. Mainly protecting it because they have guys that'll punch it out, obviously, in the NFL, but, running it on Aaron Donald. So, best to ever play the game.
Yeah, I mean, those are some great keys to victory there. I mean, like you said, it does sound a little bit cookie cutter. It's just like, oh, yeah, run the ball. But that is what we're largely going to need to do to win this game. But I'll add on to that, score points in the red zone, please. Like, let's not get back to the Ravens of the past couple of years where it's just field goal after field goal after field goal. Justin Tucker should not be as busy as he was, last week. I don't think I can stomach another game where the defense forces 4 turnovers and we only get 3 points out of it. I don't think I can stomach that. That cannot happen because that right there is just foreshadowing how you're going to lose in the playoffs. I don't even care if you win that game against the Chargers. I mean, obviously I do care. 9-3 is a lot better than 8-4, but that game right there showed me, okay, this is how we can lose against a Jags in the playoffs, against a Dolphins in the playoffs, against the Chiefs in the playoffs. If we just kind of let these teams hang around and not capitalize off of our defense's, success, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. So I think the big thing is, of course, running the ball, but scoring in the red zone, taking advantage of those opportunities. I think we need to get Isaiah Likely more involved. I think he needs at least 4 or 5 catches, to be honest with you. Get this kid some confidence. If anything, get him some confidence because we've seen him make multiple plays, whether it be in preseason his rookie year, he was making acrobatic catches, whether it be in that Bucks game from last year, whether it be held last week, where he turns a 1st and 20 into a 2nd and 2, like that, stuff like that. Get this kid the ball. Third thing for me, stop Kyron Williams and stop him early. The thing is with our run defense, and if you're looking at the screen right now, the run defense has been kind of shaky, to be honest with you. I've said it multiple times on this very show. It's been shaky this season for the Ravens. There's been multiple running backs who have gotten off against the Ravens. And I mean, that cannot happen, especially considering how much the Rams are utilizing a Kyron Williams and how they are ramping him up in his production, especially in the last couple of weeks since he came back from the I word. So those are going to be my 3 keys to victory. Alex gave you yours. Again, if you have your own keys to victory, make sure you put them down below in the comments section. We'd appreciate that. Let me see what the live Rain Gang is saying. Manuel's COD channel says we need sacks, pass effectiveness, and protect Lamar. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, one thing I'm just going to add on to you is no matter how good this defense is, and maybe I'm just being a spoiled fan, allowing over 100 yards average to me is not a good look. Maybe that's because I was brought up on the Ravens defenses that went 30, 40 games not giving up a 100-yard rusher. Like when it happened, it was like a loss. Like us giving up a 100-yard game was like Justin Tucker missing an extra point. That's how rare it was. And now it's like, wow, like this defense is allowing that. So the run defense to me, like that, you got to show me something now. I'm glad you brought up Kyron Williams because he's probably one of the hottest running backs in the league right now, if not the hottest when you look at stats over the past couple of weeks. If you can hold him to under, I'd say 70, that's a real good look for me, especially if we're going to be up and they're running the ball, or even if it's a close game, they're running the ball. Keep him under 70. That's my number for the game. I don't know what the actual odds number is, but yeah, and what Manuel said, getting the sacks and being effective in the pass game. I see Edward, he brings up here. Have we talked about how many screens we're throwing to Zay? Yeah. I mean, we're passing the ball, but is that really effective?
Yeah.
How many yards? You know, he had 5 catches, 25 yards against the Chargers. He had 2
Yeah.
touchdowns, but that's our first round pick who we saw can catch deep balls. We saw it against the Bengals. Where has that play been? Where has that big play ability been? We know it's there. This isn't me knocking Zay Flowers. It's me knocking Lamar Jackson. It's what's up the play calls. I would like to see it. If it's raining, maybe it won't happen. But we saw we've seen Bates getting open. There was a chart like how he is just causing like some of the most separation in the league. Like he is having a better year than what the stats show. If you are looking at the stat sheet, you're like, oh, he's not having a good season. To me, he's showing like that progression.
Yeah.
He just needs that game. I don't know when it's going to be. I probably sound like a delusional fan, and if I do, that's fine. Bateman, he's so close to breaking the fuck out. I just don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's there.
It's there, and I think he's got more opportunities now that, you know, unfortunately Mark Andrews is probably going to be done for the season. But the problem is, and we talked about this over the offseason, there's only one football to go around. And you know that this Ravens team, they still want to be a run first team. When it comes to percentage of plays and what percentage of plays do we pass the football? We are dead last in the league. May not feel like it, but we are dead last at 48% of the time we throw the football. So it's just, there's just not as many opportunities as we would like for guys like Rashad Bateman or, you know, even Zay Flowers, even Odell Beckham Jr. to really, really dominate, because that's just not our forte. We want to run the football and, you know, have the passing game be complementary to that. And I can understand that too. But the screens to Zay Flowers, I'm sick of them just as much as the next Ravens fan. I can say that. Yeah. Get him out of here. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into our score predictions for this game. Looking at the last matchups between the Ravens and the Rams. So we've only played the Rams in LA twice. Last game we lost 19-20. I remember that game like it was yesterday. Chuck Clark had that pick 6. We were in that game very, very late. I can't remember. It was a late call or something like that didn't go our way, or something. I can't remember what it was.
Odell. That's what it was. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Odell hit us with the bird flu.
Oh, yes, I remember. Ooh, that stings a little bit.
Yeah.
The time before that, though, 45-6. I know we all remember that one. Monday Night Football. Lamar Jackson goes to LA and absolutely just trounces the Rams. Destroys them, has a Jackson 5, the whole 9. But as you can see, for the most part, the Ravens have handled the Rams over history. So, Alex, I want to start with you. What is your score prediction for this game? And if you're watching, make sure you leave your score prediction down below in the chat or in the comment section.
My score prediction: 27-17 Ravens. I want to go over 30, but the weather definitely is going to affect it.
Yeah,
I think we do have a couple of touchdowns. Obviously, Tucker, he'll kick some of them field goals through, but it can be 27-17.
Yeah. I'm going to go 26-20. I think this one is unnecessarily close. And the only reason I think it's so close is because of the run game. I think the game largely might be a stalemate, especially in the first half of the game. Both teams are going to be trying to settle in really with the run game, kind of establish the run game, especially with the weather going on. And then later on in the second half, I think that teams will probably, both teams will probably try to open up the playbook just a little bit more, try to put up some points to win the game. But I think all in all, I think the Ravens will pull it out, but it's going to be close, 26-20. That's my prediction.
Okay. Wow.
So let's see what you guys are saying down here. Mod Boz in the house. What's going on, Boz? Appreciate you for coming through. Says 24-13 Ravens. That's his prediction. I like it. Lisa Ann in the house says 45-10 Ravens, purple. LJ gets 450 passing yards. Jeez Louise.
In the rain is crazy.
In the rain is absolutely insane. KLA Sports in the house. What's going on, KLA? Says 24-17 Ravens. JD Killswitch says 20-17 Ravens. Ravens only rushing touchdowns. Okay. Not a bad take. A bad take.
I feel like that's going to happen. Gus is going to have like 2. In mind, I think we'll score 3, and like Keaton or like, I don't know. I'll tell you this though, if there was a game for Charlie Kolar to score a touchdown,
I was just about to say Charlie Kolar. If
there's a game, it's got to be this one. It's got to be the rain. It's got to be. It's got to be. We're at like the 3-yard line. We run a play action. Everybody's focused on like Likely and Zay and Odell, and there's just sweet old Charlie with his weird funky helmet sitting there just waiting for the touchdown. And guess what? This is the week we pay the light bill. The light bill's being paid. BGE, you're getting it. You're getting paid this week. Charlie Kolar, anytime touchdown.
Yeah. Got to check the odds on that later. Got to check the odds on that because I believe in it too. I was thinking about it before you even said it, man. I was going to say, I was gearing up to say it, and you took the words right out of my mouth. That's going to be exactly what happens. We're going to get in the red zone, like you said, play action. Everyone's going to be plastered. Back of the end zone. It's going to look like a very simple, easy throw. He's going to be wide open. Back of the end zone, touchdown. He's going to catch it in his chest like this. 6 points. I'm telling you, that's exactly what's going to happen. You guys can come back here after the game. Hey, look, don't gotta believe us. Just saying. It's feeling like one of those weeks. Manuel's college channel says if Kolar scores, Q will be ecstatic. Man, it would be great. It would be great. And then Lisa always got to take it further. Always got to take it a step further. It says Charlie Kolar and Pancake Pat get touchdowns. That'd be crazy. That would be insane. Okay. So we've given our score predictions for this game. Again, if you want to give a score prediction, you're a part of the hashtag replay gang, meaning you're not watching this episode live. That's okay. Make sure you leave your score prediction down below. Okay. I think it's time for some picks. I think it's time for our week 14 picks. But you guys know what we do first before we make the picks, right? Yes. We got to show you how we did last week. Week 13, I picked 69% of the games right. Simply picked 77% of the games right. I think the one that we were different on was the Eagles and 49ers game. He picked the 49ers. I picked the Eagles.
We picked the Steelers. And who else did we pick?
We picked the Steelers. And who else was it? It was one more.
The Chiefs, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, it was the Chiefs.
Hey, shout out to Jordan Love. Give him that.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay, so you guys can see there, pretty good pick rate from us. So listen, if you're into sports betting, that sort of thing, maybe throw some of our picks in a parlay because we're hitting at a pretty high clip right now, you know. And you know, it's interesting that we're doing this. Like, it's the numbers I feel like have gotten progressively better as the season went on, you know, like our picks, because we kind of know the teams, we know this season, what's going on in the league a little bit more week to week. So it gets a little bit easier. So with that being said, I don't know if my guy Alex has the picks pulled up yet. The game's pulled up yet.
I'm ready.
He's ready. Are you ready? It's time for the weekly picks. Let's get the music queued up.
Listen, I raged
Bring
all
it
night.
On in. Make sure you.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rage some more right here. All right.
Use our code PRP. Get yourself 20% off. Plus free international shipping. With that being said, with no further ado, Alex, let's get into some week 14 picks.
Starting off tonight, it is the toilet bowl of them all. It is Bailey Zappi against Mitch Trubisky. Patriots, Steelers. So bad that Amazon didn't even have a player to promote for the Patriots. They promoted Bill Belichick. Woo. Give me this tonight. Give me the Steelers. Give me the under in this game, all right, as well. I'm not an under guy, but tonight I'm picking the under, all right? Ooh. Give me the Steelers. Yeah. Give me the Steelers 13-3.
I keep picking the Steelers each and every week, thinking that they're going to win just because it's the Steelers. Every time I pick them, they lose, but I'm going to go with the Steelers again tonight. It's just the Patriots, they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing there, you know, so, yeah, give me Pittsburgh.
All right, next up we have the Texans against the Jets. Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback again for the Jets. That means they're going to be good. Now, give me the Texans. The Jets are still a dumpster fire. Even with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they'd be amazing. Probably better, but that line is awful. It's awful. Yeah. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, give me the Texans as well. I mean, they're actually fighting for something. The Jets, not really anymore. That defense is pretty good, but they have nothing on offense. Kind of like the Patriots right now. They just have no juice. They have more weapons than the Patriots. They have, you know, they could be doing something more. They just have no quarterback, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I got the Texans.
Yeah, next up, another toilet bowl. The Panthers and the Saints. The Saints are in disarray right now. I think Jameis is finally starting. And the Panthers also just suck. Give me the Saints.
Yeah. Saints for sure at home. You're gonna see some more of that Jameis Winston magic that we almost saw last week. Remember the tip ball to Chris Olave for the touchdown? Or no, it wasn't a touchdown. It got to the 1 yard line, I think it was. But yeah, give me the Saints in that one. Plus Taysom Hill. Yeah, they've been using him a lot more recently too. So yeah, give me the Saints.
This next one, I'm actually a little excited. This might be one of the better ones, the 1 o'clock window. The Colts and the Bengals. The Bengals and Jake Browning, who knocked off the Jags, who, to me, right now, raw to watch. Yeah, Jake Browning went up there and had himself a game. Jamar Chase is back. I'll tell you what, I think I like the Bengals in this game. I know the Colts are fighting for that playoff spot, but the Bengals, they showed me something on Monday night. I know Trevor Lawrence went out, but Jake Browning, have my respect. I'm going to pick the Bengals.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go with the Bengals at home as well. I did like what I saw from Jake Browning. You know, the mistakes weren't there, and he's serviceable. That's what it looked like the last time we saw him out. He's serviceable, and I think that with the Bengals roster, all you really need is a quarterback who is serviceable. You know, the defense are always going to be physical, you know, along with everybody in that division. So give me the Bengals in a close one.
Yeah, I tell you what, Michael Pittman Jr. is a free agent after this year. Ravens. Wouldn't hate it. He's been balling out.
I got to do
next,
that.
Yeah. Next up, the Buccaneers and the Falcons. I guess Buccaneers. But Desmond Ridder is good at home. I said that last time and he lost. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, give me the Bucs as well. Yeah, give me the Bucs. I just think that they have more firepower. You know, the connection between Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. Mike Evans with his 10th straight 1,000-yard season. I think they keep that connection rolling. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Like, just get it to him. He's so
easily.
And with all the quarterbacks he's on the list too, is insane. Next up, we do have the Jags and Joe Flacco-led Browns in Cleveland. I don't know how to feel about this game. This is, if Trevor Lawrence plays, I'd say the Jags, but I don't think he should play for his own health because of Darius Smith and Myles Garrett rushing you. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pick the Browns. I don't want them to win, but I think they're going. I think Joe Flacco's gonna pull out some magic.
Yeah, this is a tough one too, because it does kind of depend on if Trevor Lawrence is going to play or not, and if he does play, how effective will he be? Especially against that Browns defense, like you said, Myles Garrett, Darius Smith, all those boys. Yeah, I'll take the Browns at home. In a low-scoring affair.
I hope I'm wrong because the Browns are 7-5. Wow. Next up, the Lions and the Bears in Chicago. Lions, obviously.
Yeah, I'm taking Lions in this one.
No question. Next up, the Seahawks and the Niners 4 o'clock game. Niners not going against them.
Yeah, can't go against the Niners, man. I mean, Seahawks decent, but the 49ers are looking like probably the best team in the league right now, the most complete team in the league right now. Could arguably be the Ravens, but you know, we'll see after a couple of weeks after this 4 or 5 game stretch. But in this one, I'm gonna go with the 49ers over the Seahawks.
Another 4 o'clock game, the Vikings and the Raiders. Is actually kind of interesting. I think Justin Jefferson might be back. Yep. So you see two of the best wide receivers, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson going at it. I'll tell you what, give me the Raiders. I don't know why. I have a weird feeling the Raiders could sneak as a 7 seed if they get their ish together. But it starts here. Josh Dobbs, they're discussing whether or not he should start, but he is going to start. I like the Raiders in this one.
Give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings in this one. I see some more, just one more game of Josh Dobbs magic, especially with Justin Jefferson coming back. Give me the Vikings. I just have a feeling about this one.
This next game, I don't know how I'm going to feel.
This will be funny to circle back to next week. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a weird week because we have the Broncos and the Chargers now. And if I pick the Broncos, the Chargers are going to put up 34 points. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos as well. I think that last week they let Russell Wilson cook a little bit more than he was in recent weeks before that, and I think this week they kind of reel him back in a little bit more. And yeah, I'll take the Broncos over the Chargers, who just look like they're unraveling right now. Look, they just look like they're waiting for the season to be over so they can fire their coach and get somebody new. So yeah, give me the Broncos.
Yep, and the new excuses for Herbert happen again. Bills, Chiefs. I like Kansas City in this one. I'll take it.
Yeah, let me get Kansas City in this one as well. They're not going to win they're not going to lose 2 in a row. I don't think they've done that in the Mahomes Andy Reid era, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, for me, game of the week, Sunday Night Football, Eagles, Cowboys,
Ooh.
Big Dom. I mean, how many times is Sunday Night Football going to pan over to him? Who's going to get more? It's going to be Taylor Swift with the Chiefs, or it's going to be Big Dom with the Eagles?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was a crazy situation, too. I saw your TikTok.
I saw your comment. I liked your comment. You made a great point.
Yeah, man. The league, man. It just sounds very ominous, When the guy, for those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, make sure you go on TikTok, follow Simply AS10. He actually had the on the field footage from what happened on that 4:00 game last Sunday, with Big Dom and Dre Greenlaw kind of getting into it on the sideline, and Greenlaw kind of pushes Big Dom's face or whatever. They throw him out the game, then they throw Dom out the game, and the referees come on the sideline and they're talking to Nick Sirianni. They're telling them like, "Hey, look, your coach, he's got to go." And they go over to Dom and they're telling Dom like, "Look, the league is saying you got to go." Like basically the big boys upstairs that are sitting in a room somewhere far, far away, watching all of this, deciding on how this game plays out. They're telling you have to leave, and that kind of felt a little bit ominous to me, a little bit scary. Like, damn, the powers that be, right? I don't know. That's just me. But this game, Cowboys and Eagles, like you said, game of the week. I definitely think this is going to be game of the week. Cowboys with a lot to prove, especially if they want to beat the Eagles, in-division opponent. Eagles trying to bounce back after that loss last week. Are they playing in Philly?
They're playing in Dallas.
That's tough. But give me the Eagles, man. Give me the Eagles. I think since it's an in-division opponent, the Eagles have the formula to kind of stifle what the Cowboys have going on. For the most part, they can make this game uglier than the Cowboys would probably want them to. And by the end of it, I think the Eagles pull it out. So give me the Eagles in a close one.
Right there with you. I like the Eagles as well in this one. Although if the Cowboys do pull this out, Dak, I think, leading MVP candidate. But yeah, give me the Eagles. And with 2 Monday Night Football games this week, I don't know why they're not good. Packers, Giants. Give me the Packers. I guess.
Packers, Giants. Yeah, give me the Packers for sure. Love the way that Jordan Love has been playing recently. I mean, the Packers don't look like a bad team right now. Give me the Packers. Yeah, give me the Packers.
And then finally, Titans, Dolphins. I mean, really, Miami.
Yeah, give me Miami in that one. Miami is looking like, they're going to finish as a top 3 seed in the AFC. If things continue to go the way that they are. Luckily, we play them in the next couple of weeks, so we actually have a chance. We are in total control of our own destiny at this point in the season. We just got to win. But yeah, definitely taking Miami over Tennessee in that one.
And that is it for our picks for Week 14 in the NFL. Thank you for spending that wealth and putting your picks in the chat. Bit of a weird week, not like last week. Last week was pretty straightforward. This week there's a lot of toss-ups as well. But see, we do have a super chat from Chike.
Yes.
Thank you very much. He said the Chiefs have lost 2 in a row under Reid and Mahomes in 2021. They lost to Baltimore week 2, who could forget, and then week 3 at home to the LA Chargers. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Good for them. They came back and number 1 seed. No, they were the 2 because the Titans got knocked out that year, but they still had the AFC Championship at home. So respect to them.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it's only happened once, maybe twice, that sort of thing. Like, I mean, that's impressive. Still,
yeah,
super impressive. And the fact that this year they're doing it. I mean, they still have a really good record in a good conference without one of their best receivers. I know they won without Tyreek Hill last year, but they really don't have much at all in that pass catching room. You know, Travis Kelce, like you said the other week, looks old, you know, quite frankly. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have to offer in the playbook, you know, in the playoffs. I don't know if they're kind of holding back some of the plays in the playbook right now because they've just been dominant for so long that they need to kind of wait to pull out all the stops, that sort of thing. I don't know. But nonetheless, thank you so much for your super chat donation, Chike, and thank you for correcting us on that. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys go ahead and drop your questions down below in the chat. Right now, it's time for some questions before we get out of here. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video. If you are new here, maybe consider subscribing to the channel as well. If and only if you are enjoying the content that you are consuming, we'd appreciate that. Let's see what we have here down below in the comments for our question segment. And listen, if you're not watching live and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for joining the episode. Make sure you drop your questions down below in the comment section.
Yes, thank you. I see KLA says the Patriots have 3 active wide receivers tonight.
Ooh.
That is a bold strategy. 3.
Yeah.
So that's just telling me how. Well, Zeke, good luck because Ramondre Stevenson's out. Wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, are we going to get a lot of Juju Smith-Schuster tonight?
Right. What was Bill Belichick cooking?
I don't know, but I'm looking at the lines. I guess we can take some time to look at the lines here for this game, for what it's worth, at least. So I have, well, FanDuel has player receiving yard. Oh, they took the Patriots. They don't even have Patriots receivers on here for player props. That's on FanDuel, right? I don't know if they just took them down like just temporarily or what, but they don't even have them on FanDuel right now at the moment. But listen to this 3-leg parlay that I have on this game, okay? And I want you to tell me whether or not you think it's good or not. So I have Juju Smith-Schuster over 15.5 receiving yards. If he's one of 3 active receivers, there's no way in hell that he does not get 16 yards receiving. That is like 2 catches, maybe 1, you know?
Right.
There's that. Second leg, Bailey Zappi. And I already know what you're thinking. Why the hell are you betting on Bailey Zappi, Sutton? Listen, if they don't bench him for Malik Cunningham halfway through the game, you know, hopefully he hasn't thrown like 4 picks before halftime, anything like that. I think he can hit this. So I got Bailey Zappi over 25.5 passing attempts.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
Okay. I think that's solid.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I like that too. Let's see. In the last leg, just Chris Boswell, Steelers kicker, 2 field goals.
That's hitting 100%. That's
okay. So I'm not crazy. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Just had to make sure I wasn't crazy for a second, Alex. Thank you so much for that validation. One more thing I wanted to check. We were talking about Kyron Williams and what his rushing line would be against the Ravens. Let me see what that is here. Player rushing yards, because this would be interesting. Okay, Kyron Williams. They have him set at 67.5. 67.5 rushing yards.
I think he hits that.
I think he hits it too.
Like as an honest fan, I think that. Yeah.
I mean, because they're going to give him like 17, 18 carries, you know?
Exactly.
They're going to be feeding him. Yeah. So I would take the over on Kyron Williams rushing yards. Would we take the over on Keaton Mitchell's rushing yards, 44.5?
I personally would. I just think it's the coaching that may hold that back. That's the only problem.
Yeah. Let me see. All right. How about Lamar Jackson rushing yards, 46.5, over under?
Under.
I like that. I like under. Rain game. They're not going to be wanting.
He doesn't want to run.
Put him out on design runs. He's not going to want to run. Exactly. Yeah, I'll take the under on that all day long. That's actually probably one of my favorite legs for this week, from this game. A couple more I want to look at here. Let's look at receiving yards really quick. Get your take on those. Those you guys watching right now as well.
The Bucks
Say
are
again.
winning 94-91, and the fourth quarter hasn't started yet.
Oh, 94-91. You said the Pacers are winning?
No, the Bucks are by 3.
Oh, the Bucks are winning. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good game. Shit.
Yeah,
That's
94-91.
a
I was
good
actually
game.
watching it. Yeah.
Let's see. So, give you one more here. Zay Flowers, over under 46.5 yards receiving.
What do I feel under? Rain game? If he went 5 for 25 last game, I would like for him to go over it, but realistic, I think under. I'm sorry. What we haven't talked about is the real question, actually. Charlie Kolar, ATD.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
we haven't.
everybody's here to talk about.
You're right. You're right. Let me see if that's even on here. Let me see. Charlie Kolar. And he is not, at least not on ESPN Bet, which is interesting. Let's see if he's on FanDuel. I've seen him on FanDuel a few times, so he should be up there. Let's see. Because I'm guessing right now he's probably like plus 800, plus 900, something like that, to score a touchdown.
I need him to be higher
if
than
I
that.
had to guess.
For a guy who has like one catch this year?
Ooh, yeah, he's higher. He's double that, actually.
Plus 16?
Yeah, he's plus 1,600 for an
Talk
anytime
to me.
touchdown.
Talk
Plus
to me.
4,800 for any first half touchdown.
Talk to me.
Hey, that's kind of a deal. I mean, he just got to get a target or two in the red zone, and he could hit that. You know, so hey, man, if you're not a Ravens fan and you're listening to this, and you want a lottery play, a lottery straight bet play for Sunday, play Charlie Kolar anytime touchdown. See what happens. You know, just saying, see what happens. Okay, let's go ahead and bring up this super chat donation. This one's coming from Max Offit, a Purple Rain pioneer, must I say. Says, am I the only one feeling the scrutinized Owe and Bateman are the absolute X factors down the stretch for us to win a ring?
No. Think about it.
Yeah.
That receiver to make that big catch on third down. We need that sack on third down.
Yeah.
Who's it going to be? The first round of 2021.
I think that Lisa had also asked a question saying, like, how do we keep Matt Stafford from getting all day to throw? Yeah, I mean, pass rushers got to step up. That includes Odafe Owe. I'm expecting a big game from guys like Jadeveon Clowney. I want to see Kyle Van Noy making his plays again, too. So, yeah, I mean, pass rush has to step up, because if we get the Rams in obvious passing situations, I think that obviously that bodes well for our defense, especially because of how good the secondary is, and then how good the pass rush has been. You know, because if we can get them dead to rights, I think we have them dead to rights, if that makes sense. But yeah, Max, I appreciate the super chat donation. Owe and Bateman, I agree exactly with what Alex said there. We're gonna need those crucial plays in the playoffs, whether it be, you know, a slant for 6 yards for a crucial first down, or whether it be, you know, a third and 9, and we get, you know, an 8-yard sack or something like that, or a strip sack or something like that. That's going to be important. Okay. Let's see. K-Dog says, what about all the touchdowns being scored on the ground? Is there a bet for that? There's not. I don't think there is, but that'd be an interesting one, to be honest with you.
Take the Kyron and the Gus anytime. If we're talking that.
Yeah.
Parlay them boys together.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and leave it there for the question segment in this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming out to yet another episode 213 of the show. Again, what did you say was the John Brown episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, as you guys know, I'm going to say it one more time this episode. Holidays right around the corner. You're damn near running out of time. Okay. So make sure you go on manscaped.com and you stack that cart up to the ceiling, sky high. Get stuff for you. Get stuff for your brother, your father, your uncle, your friend, right? Your cousin. For all those people, all those loved ones in your life, stack the cart up high to the sky and use our code PRP, because that's going to save you 20% off. Plus, you get free international shipping. So again, thank you guys so much for joining the show. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, like you see down below. And then my guy Simply AS10 over here, you can find him on Twitter at Simply AS10, on Instagram at Simply AS10.prod, and on TikTok and pretty much anywhere else, Simply AS10. Thank you guys again so much. And with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you all for coming through to episode 213 of the Purple Rain Podcast. As always, stay positive, test negative.
Yeah, and never ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. It's been episode 213 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We're gonna catch you guys